Bedivere.
Yes.
What if we were to tape the scope to the vacuum?
Sir, I think that's a brilliant idea.
I'm so glad I thought of that.
Why wouldn't we think of that? Man of science.
Thank you for tapping the screen. Yes, thank you.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, they love you, but they didn't like how you talked to me. Ha ha!
They didn't like how I talked to you? I don't understand.
Me.
Last time I checked, I am a king.
What's this room? Must be
You
a
bend
king.
over almost as well as your
Thank you,
mother.
Joe.
Up here, in front of the camera.
I can hear them.
Yes, I can hear them as well. They're in the bucket. Okay. Look at this. This genius idea right here should be worth 1 million views.
So we've never done this before, keep that in mind. We made this equipment ourselves for less than $50. The endoscope was a $10 bin store find. So doing this eviction is a little more forceful than with our usual tenant process. There's no paperwork, and we just had to soften the vacuum so that it did not unalive the bees when they were sucked in here, and it seems to have worked.
It's close. Like you can see the workers versus the attacks.
Look at these guys. There's not many of them left.
Perhaps I was foolishly optimistic about their numbers at this point, as you'll soon see.
They've been busy little bees the last few days making this, I'm sure.
Cut up higher.
Oh.
All the way up to the crown.
How many bees do you think are going to be in this wall? And do you think we'll actually successfully save them as complete amateurs? The professional wanted to charge us $1,000. We decided to DIY it for just $50 in homemade equipment and a few of the tools we already had. People often confuse being a professional at something as you must be a professional in order to do something, but there are many, many things that you can do if you just try. Don't be afraid to take on a task. Take some precautions, do some research. We certainly put on a lot of protection before doing this. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's how we can learn a whole lot. Like that mistake. I just got stung for the first time doing this. I'm surprised it was able to sting through 2 layers of gloves. Do you think our armor and preparations will hold up? And do you think we'll be successful in saving all these bees?
Look at all the bees now that the
They're almost
honeycomb's
gone, yeah. A little bit more vacuuming and then we're done
Yep.
because you can see the top plate.
Do we
Any
need to
more
open up
honeycomb?
another section of wall?
I don't think so. It's right at the top. The top plate is right there.
Yeah, I don't think I...
This is an Airbnb and guests will be arriving. We have to repatch all these holes after we're finished. The guests booked this place in January. It would be awful if they weren't able to stay. I would feel absolutely terrible. The bees keep moving around into different parts of the walls as we're trying to get them, so we have to keep cutting a bigger and bigger section. It probably would have been better if we cut a bigger section to begin with. But we were also trying to minimize damage since we have guests arriving tomorrow and we have to patch this and get it ready for guests. Life is sometimes a balancing act of trying not to do too much damage and trying to keep repairs to a minimum, but also making your job easy enough you can accomplish it. You never quite know where the balance is when you're doing something like this for the first time. At this point, I was starting to wonder if we would ever get to the end of the bees. Every time we'd open some more, we'd find a huge cluster just like this. We, of course, need to check inside these wall cavities as we're cutting holes before we make them any bigger, just to see if there's any, and every time we looked, there would be more. At this point, it had been nearly an hour. Some more time on the ocelot saw, and we'll have a bigger hole so that we can get more bees out. I guess sometimes I want to keep my problems to a minimum, and I think we get guilty of that in our own lives, trying to minimize our problems, not let a problem get too big or out of hand, whereas if we just let the big catastrophic thing occur, then we could get to the point of being able to fix it. Sometimes something just has to get really bad before we can make it better. And as I learned doing that, this is one of those things where I should have just cut a gigantic hole right off the bat. Sometimes we try to help other people avoid big problems too, and as a result we prevent them from fixing the fundamental things that need to be fixed in their lives or in their situations. At least I know I've been guilty of that from time to time.
Okay, so I think this is bad news as we've cut down to the baseboards. This wall is balloon framed. This home is very old, from the 1800s.
Look down to the left.
And we can see some debris.
No, that's debris.
That's debris. So what that means is that there's no fire blocking between the floors. This is on the second floor. So that means that the colony, once it got access to this panel, could go all the way downstairs to the ground. You hear all the bees buzzing?
You've got one on your leg.
Yeah, well, I'll survive.
It would bee poop on your leg.
So several people were concerned about the safety of our bees. As you can see, they are doing okay. They have some honeycomb and everything in this bucket. I'm going to seal the hole here so I don't have to worry about them escaping, but they do have this. And you can see the bees are trying to get inside because they know the queen is there. So the bees from the outside want in that we didn't quite get with the vacuum. So I've already talked to some beekeepers locally, and we'll be providing this hive to somebody so that they can set it up and make sure they're nice and healthy. She's got a cute little bee on her. Let's see all these bees. I think we did a good thing. You like some metal armor?
Maybe.
That one's a little bigger, but I don't think that's the queen now. That may be one of the drones. Look at her, so brave, without any metal armor of any kind.
I know. Brave or not.
She's trying to become a bee whisperer herself. Should be in there somewhere.
Little room girls.
Oh, there it is.
Is it stuck?
It's it may be a little bit tangled. I don't know how to help it. Let me see if I can help it. I'm gonna come help you, little bee. Oh. Gave it a little bit more grip, maybe. Get him. Get that bee out of her hair.
Come on, little one. Don't get upset with us, okay? I know. Can you get out? Without getting mad? There we go.
Ah, you saved it.
Yay. Stuck on something on the other side?
Yeah.
There's a whole clip on the other side that has to go.
Her
Teamwork. Look at
makes
her.
the dream work.
She's not even in a bee suit. That's how courageous my wife is.
She is very courageous. I bet.
Oh, there's over any. Clearly, that's got to be it.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be her.
They sound a little louder now.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll be a little protective.
It's a little bit messy in there.
Yeah. That's all right. That means they're getting ready to swarm, getting their energy up to swarm.
Remember, proper safety equipment, people.